This is Sophia Ligel from the Empower Love Way, and today I wanted to talk to you specifically about the losing control, fear of losing control. And I feel this past few years, this is something that we've been immersed in, this loss of control. The pandemic brought a sensation of slowing down, a loss of control in many different ways. And so the ways that we kept trying to hold on to control and a certain structure where it was beyond us. And so in a way, coming to acceptance of what depends on you, on us, and what is beyond your control. And what are the things that you can do, and what are the things that, again, that are not up to you. And so there's so much here because from the moment of lockdown that in a way life brought us to be not rushing so much. And so with less distractions, we were called to really face certain fears and things in your life that have been perhaps in the back burner, or just because through distraction and busyness, you were able to avoid or not really pay attention, not pay attention about them. And now they're there, they're right there in front of you. There's for you nowhere to hide, nowhere to run away. And so now it's there. You have to face it. You have to hear yourself. You have to feel. And so in all of that, there was this sense as well of the not only the security within yourself, that false security within yourself, it was the false security in the structures of the outside world as well, that everything began to collapse. In that sensation and that perspective, so many belief systems were reevaluated and challenged within yourself and in the collective as well. And so this lack of control, this time in the world that began, 2 years ago, and it continues, it's really about control. Control in the way of others over, the belief of others over you, other countries over you, religion, and yourself, feeling powerless, oppressed, and the lack of control of your livelihood, your health, and your wealth, and so many paradigms and structures that create a stable foundation of security have been collapsing. And so this way in life of that, in a way, we have been learning about trust and what really, in which world, from what observer and what perspective we have been living from. And so I personally find that when I tend to feel a sensation of overwhelm, when I want to push something, when I become very rigid in my way of thinking, when I become inflexible, that is a clear indication that I have left my heart, that I have left the flow of life, and I really much align into fear, into that confused observer or the ego self, where it naturally wants to control, wants to know and be certain what's going to happen. It ties and attached to expectations. And so in that, then you are attached to a false sense of stability and security, and you also become rigid in your way of understanding and perceiving and judging the world. You kind of go into that filter of this is right and this is wrong, this is moral, this is immoral. I wanted to, this I want to achieve this result, and this is the way that it has to go. And if it goes this way, my life is going to end, or, I'm going to be humiliated and all this. And so when I find personally, when I go into that state of being that is very inflexible, it's black and white, it's right or wrong, very rigid, very, very constricted and restricted, very controlling, I am in fear. I have left my heart. I have left the flow of life, and therefore I disconnected from the love that I am, the love of life, that web connected fabric of life that is in tune with that higher intelligence, universal intelligence of all life, the divine intelligence of all life that is part of who I am, that is part of you, that is within you as you. And you are part of this fabric. You are unique and unrepeatable. You are divine. You are perfect, complete, whole, and beautiful. And you are needed, and there's a place for you exactly as there's a place for the bird, for the water, for the trees. Every single hair even in your head has been counted, and it has a place to be. You too. And so from this perspective, from this understanding, from this way of being, there's a harmony and a balance and an order to everything in your life. So from that connection to the love that you are, and the love that exists for you, within you, through you, and in all life, for all things, because the universe is not individualized. It doesn't identify with anything. The universe doesn't identify, oh, that's a tree, or that's Sophia, or that's, a pebble. No, the universe is a universal energy. That's why it's a universal intelligence. That's why it's a universal energy. It's in everything. It's that fabric that it's everything and holds everything. And so the universal energy lives within you, as it lives in all human beings, in all living things in the planet and the universe and beyond. So the universal energy exists in the stars, it exists in the trees, it exists in the crystals and the rocks, it exists in the one drop of the ocean, it exists in the winds, and it exists in every single cell of your body. It exists in all of who you are. And there's a harmony, and there's an order, and there's an intelligence. Your heart beats. Even when you're sleeping, you don't control your heartbeat. You don't control the physiology in your body. You're breathing in and you're breathing out. You didn't create this world. You're creating your own reality from your own experience, through your vibration, through what you perceive, and you make meaning to your experiences. And therefore, that creates a certain vibration where you're resonating in life from that understanding of yourself and perception of yourself, others, and the world. And so the only one that is individualized and identifies with selves and things, the division of the whole, is us. It's you. The universe doesn't. And so from that fabric of life that you are part of, there is love, there's cooperation, there is life, there is balance and harmony. And so I know that when I go to a place of that it doesn't feel safe to lose control, that I feel stuck, that I feel overwhelmed, that I feel powerless, that I become rigid because I'm filled with restriction within myself, that I'm fighting against myself, I'm fighting within my belief system. I am resisting myself and the belief and what is happening, and the change and the transformation and the growth and the experience and the acceptance of their experience. So when I begin to see myself, that I become inflexible, that I feel that I become very in the way of rigid in my thinking, of my perceiving, judging and right, wrong, that inflexible, I know that I have drifted away from my heart and from the way of empowering love with myself. So what do I do? Because whatever has triggered that state of being of loss, fear to lose control, that is a disconnection, first of all, with the truth of who I am and with life itself. So every time you're afraid of something, or for me, for example, I can be afraid, of this is a worst thing that could happen to me. And then it happens. When it happens at the time, the fear is completely gone, because now I'm living that experience and I know there's something that I always do, that I have the resource within myself. No matter what the experience is, the power exists within me in every single experience, because it's there. Everything comes to you as it comes, and you find the resources within you and around you for you to face and overcome that experience. Always. That's the order of life. And so what happens in this time, when you feel like you're having a hard time and you're feeling like you're going into fear of losing control, and it doesn't feel safe to lose control, then all you can do is ask yourself, what am I trying to control? Can I control this? Does it depend on you? What is beyond your control? So what is beyond your control, you can let go, because that doesn't depend on you. What can you control, and what depends on you, what is your responsibility, you ask. Whatever the situation is, can I accept whatever is happening in my life? If you say yes, okay, have the experience, because there's going to be an experience there. If you can accept what is happening, then ask yourself, okay, what depends in this situation that I can accept, and what is within your control that depends on you and is your responsibility? What is within your responsibility? What can you do and depends on you? And how can you empower the situation, yourself, and a relationship in love? Tuning in to the love that you are within you, and the power of love within you, and the source of love within you and in your life. So remembering that there's a larger intelligence. I know there's also in fear a part of you that's want to, put all the pieces in the puzzle and you have to do it yourself. And remember, that comes from the place of fear. And so tuning in back to remembering, coming back to that order within yourself and that connection to the love that you are, that is here for you, to that larger intelligence and wisdom and love, the love that created you, and that it feeds your life all the time. The life that enters and beats your heart, that nourishes every single cell in your body. Just the same energy that it's infused in the sun, in the air, in the water, in the food, in your daughter, in your son, in your husband, and your wife, and your friend, and your sister, and your brother. The same energy there. So I want to finish with a light language transmission of releasing control into love, into your own connection. So let's take a deep breath in. Irintu umpu ta en tayana ko arai iniano te krotaya hum iniata ne krokaya hum ne etahi tajala oriatanai orokunta yare ohole opayala onianero tayaho umuna tayako yala oniana tayako arahiata aniane yohoraliaka Aniyataya hoatahi Iriya hummanayala Hey Neto Urerotahi Inishiyawa Holetama Niretai Niretai. Taking a deep breath in into the heart, feeling how from your heart you tune into the earth and the heart of the earth, resonating with the heart of the earth, feeling how your heart tunes in to the vibration and the heartbeat of the universe, connected as one, in the resonance of love, of harmony and peace. All is well, all is in order. Know that from the frequency of love, everything resolves in perfect harmony, in grace and balance. Beautiful. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.